Hey, hey,
Hey,
sister. How's it
hey,
going?
girl. How
I
you
am
doing?
excited. I'm hanging in there, girl. Who's you doing? Hanging in
like,
there, surviving,
likewise, likewise.
surviving. You look so pretty.
Thank you. It takes one to know one.
Period, period. But let's get into it. I have to start off first by exposing money, y'all. Because why she was gonna tell me the other day, I didn't think you got whoopings when we grew up.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, did I? Shit, what they say on Facebook? One time I died. What you talking about?
I think some of our fellow followers will understand why I thought that.
I mean, it's crazy because she definitely was whooping me. I don't know what y'all thought. What y'all thought I had going on. She's a very sweet lady. I love her to death, but she used to beat me. Yes, she
BK.
did. Yes, she did. Put that out there. She absolutely did.
This is
Uh,
very shocking news. I'm still trying to come to grips with. Yeah, I
You
don't
know,
know what
it
I
really
thought.
made sense though. It made sense to me why y'all thought that I was so bad, and I just had this little sweet mom. Y'all thought she wasn't whipping me. How time she was.
Giving you the world, letting
Yeah,
you express yourself, you know, kind of letting you do your thing.
that's
We didn't know. We had
crazy.
we had no clue.
That is crazy for real though. Like honestly, I definitely got a rep for being a badass kid, and it makes sense that y'all just thought I was over there running the records over her feelings, but no, she was whipping me.
Very,
So
very well not the case.
very well not the case at all. But yeah, I thought that was really crazy, and it really kind of led us into talking about how discipline affected us as we grew up. Um, I know for me personally, I'm totally, totally against physical punishments. I have a 14-year-old son. I literally whipped him one time in my life, and I felt horrible, like literally horrible. You hear me?
Yeah, I definitely understand, especially with your history of the things that you have shared with me. That it's news to me, but I definitely understand where you're coming from and why you chose that route. And he's a great kid, so not saying that that is why he doesn't get whoopings. But
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad you chose that route, and I understand why you chose that route, and I respect that. As for me, I am a mom of five. My household is a little different. So, however, great kids. They don't do anything more than most kids their age do,
Hmm.
but I do feel like although I'm pro physical discipline, I feel like within reason.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's definitely should not be a go to. You definitely should not be whooping your kid while you're angry. You definitely need to wait till you calm down. And not being able to calm down, I think rational has actually led us to where we are today in regards to the mom. Where was it? Mobile?
Yep, in Mobile County, out down there in Mobile, Alabama, we had what's her name, Nicole Staples.
Nicole
Nicole
Staples.
Staples went absolutely freaking viral this today, yesterday, and this last few days.
Hmm.
She's a teacher at a Christian academy, and her other child filmed her whooping her 12-year-old son. Reports say that she hit him 23 times, and then one additional time she also pulled him to his feet by his hair. She was fired from her job because her kid sent that video to her employer. She was also charged with felony child abuse. And that has been taking the internet by storm recently. Some of the biggest reactions that we've seen from our community, because it's where we are,
Hmm.
is a lot of people saying like, yeah, my mom put a gun on the dresser one time, or this is what them kids need
It's
today.
that's it's just the ass whooping. I'm like just the ass whooping. Snatching by his hair is crazy. And 23 lashings for again. This is coming from me, someone who advocates for okay, last resort. I may need to,
Hmm.
be a little physical.
Yeah.
However, even coming from that standpoint, 23 lashings about some chores is crazy.
23,
I feel
23.
like I feel like the discipline needs to match the infraction. That's the
Yeah.
rule of my house. And I feel like that's a bit excessive for some chores.
Yeah.
Like I can put you on punishment about chores,
Right.
or I can give you more chores as a punishment. Like it's multiple things I can do
Something.
about you not doing your chores besides lashing you 23 times
Yeah.
and grabbing you by your hair.
Hello.
Um, I feel like it definitely was overly aggressive, built up frustration, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he wasn't moving; he was being compliant because even when we got our ass whooped, like the more you move, the more you yell, the more you kick, the more lashes you get.
Move your
Bro,
hand. Move
bro
your
was
hand.
bro was laying
Mhm.
there taking his lashes like, and it's
This
like
is
you got
normal. This is
madder,
not new. Yeah.
madder and madder. It just kept, So I really
Mhm.
don't understand. Maybe it's something we're not seeing on the video, but you definitely can't justify it, even in the eyes of the law. Once it's deemed excessive, you are breaking the law,
Yeah.
and it becomes child abuse. So it's a very fine line. I know how you feel about that fine line, Maddie.
Exactly. I mean, for me, the biggest thing is that most of us don't have the emotional maturity to be able to determine, like, okay, I need to calm down before I discipline. And that's
Yeah.
why I'm so against it. That's why I'm so against like physical punishments because I know it is so easy to be too
Easy to blur
upset.
that line.
Exactly. And
That's
move how
valid.
you wouldn't have moved if you were more calm. And I know that because that applies to me in my adult life where I probably would have taken some criticism better if I would have took a second to calm down before I actually thought about what was happening or processed it. So for me, it's looking like me, like you probably had a bad day. You know, they daddy even probably left you. You probably a single mom recently. You got to pay these bills. You probably frustrated, which is fair. But at that point, you have to know that you're not in a space
Discipline.
to discipline exactly, and
Mhm.
that's why I say we be having the emotional maturity of a styrofoam cooler, and then to try to be from our own childhoods, and from whatever our
Mhm.
own moms and dads did to us
Mhm.
or whatever.
Mhm. Mhm.
But then to turn around and try to discipline somebody else when you can't
Mhm.
even recognize what emotional space you're in is where that child abuse shit comes from. And I think that's what
Yes.
makes it dangerous for sure.
Yes.
That's what I
And
think.
really let's talk about it. Let's delve all the way into it because that but did you die? But did we die complex is something that needs to die. Like
Mm-hmm. Period. Period.
like
Because
because
survival is a
just because our
success.
parents did it does not
Mm-hmm.
mean that it's right. So
I totally agree. I couldn't agree with that part more. I think, especially with our community, I think that we are in a special place because as a people, we've only been parenting like less than 400 years. So we are significantly behind. And I
absolutely.
think that we still have the mindset from slavery where I just have to survive. And we're not at
Mhm.
a, life is still life and racism is still racism.
Mhm.
But we're not at a space where all you have to do is survive. Now we're at a space
Right.
where we're supposed to be rebuilding and realizing that this physical whipping, in my opinion, where did that come from? Where do y'all know that from? Y'all
Mhm.
know it from
Mhm.
it being something that was greatly feared from slaves, and you're
Right.
still doing it to your kids. It's just kind of like, yeah, I get it. You want to whip them before some the life have to whip them, for the police have to whip them, but that also comes from those slave parents having to be so strict to try to save you from the slave owners. Really, really, really strict punishment, which it's still a thing, but
I was just
I,
about to say, on the flip side, I got to challenge you a little bit. How far removed are we from that? I mean, it's still a reason. It's many reasons why we still feel like we have to do that, and it's very unfortunate.
yeah,
Um,
I agree.
it's very unfortunate,
Yeah,
but
especially raising black boys. So I can, as a fellow boy mom, I can relate to that. Like especially with mine, he's 6'1", 160 pounds. He looked like an older man. If you didn't
yes,
know him, if you looked at him too quick. So of course we
my
have to worry
oldest
about them being
also,
perceived,
absolutely.
a certain way when he's only a baby, he only 14. But a person that don't know him might not perceive him that way. So I get that,
Mhm.
having to be
Mhm.
especially hard on them to keep them safe.
Mhm. Yeah.
But then I also think it's still about, what does this show you? What does this teach you? What does
Yes.
it equip you with? And that's where I'm like, yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know. I ain't never got somebody got beat or got a whipping and been like, you know what? I
Maybe
would have
I
whipped me
should.
too. Never, bro.
Yes. You got a little rebellious soul, cause baby, listen, I get my ass served good enough. I ain't even trying. I might do something else, but I'm not doing that.
It depends on what that is.
Touche.
It depends. Some stuff, I'm just gonna take my lick,
Yeah,
and I
touche.
don't want my
If
child
it's
to be
worth it.
that. Where it's like, damn, is this worth this ass whooping? Like, because at this point, that's all you afraid of. You're not learning shit. You're not learning how
Right.
to navigate. You're
Right.
not learning why that
Right.
was a bad choice. You only
Absolutely.
learning that I know she's gonna be my ass if I do that. And so it's kind of like,
And that's
It,
what makes it hard for me having the being on the other side of things, because a lot of people don't take those extra steps beforehand. Like they're literally just whooping your ass for every little thing
mhm,
or disciplining you out of frustration. Like we talked about earlier. Um, on my behalf, as far as me and my husband and my kids, like we talk, we lecture endlessly till we blue in the face.
yeah.
We've done mediations, we've done counseling for two of my kids. We've done lots of things. We create a safe space for them. They are very opinionated and very expressive, sometimes too expressive, in my
I know.
opinion. In my opinion, so it's like we're raising them in a healthy situation, but it's like at some point, it's like, okay, if all of these things are not working, now what?
Yeah.
So that's when we meet the fork in the road. That's when it's like, okay, you on your way there.
Mhm.
But it's literally a last resort in my household. But I do
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people, it's their first resort. And
Mhm.
I just feel like you're not even trying to not do it, at least. You
Exactly.
know?
Exactly. I agree. I agree there too. I definitely think that at least it should be some type of build up. And I think what I think about when I think about like people whooping their kids and not having the emotional maturity, it's kind of like that mom where she probably on Facebook or scrolling or doing whatever she's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be doing. And the baby, Mom, I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? Mom, I'm hungry. Like then told you 10, 20 times. And you get that irritation where it's like, damn, I already told you that you pop. Nah, girl, why you popping? Don't
Right.
pop him because he hungry. That's
Right.
not his fault. You
Now,
know what I'm
now
saying?
you
So
mad at him because you should have been fed him.
now I'm judging you. I'm sorry. Now I'm judging you, and I'm looking at everything that you do.
Because
I'm
getting
giving
a
you
whooping for
time.
being hungry is crazy.
You
Like,
whipping him out of agitation. It's not because he did something worthy of a punishment, and that'd be my
mm-hmm.
problem. I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
maybe of course, our trauma affects how we see things, and I've
Mm-hmm.
definitely been a part of environments or family structures where whoopings were given out if a
Yeah.
motherfucker wasn't in a good mood
And
that
you
day.
weren't heard.
Exactly, exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, really big on making sure that I talk to mine about shit because it's like I can whoop you, your whole childhood. But when you become an
Mm-hmm.
adult and it's time for you to hold yourself
Mm-hmm.
accountable, I'm not gonna be there to whoop your ass. So I need you to understand that it's natural consequences. So I'm not if Noah don't do his laundry, guess what? I'm not about to yell at him. I'm not about to get upset with him. He gonna go to
Mm-hmm.
school with what he got and he gonna be let's say his clothes
I
stink. I don't
am
know.
a strong advocate for experience is the best teacher.
Hmm.
Some things, like I will talk until I'm blue in the face, but once I'm blue in the face, baby, listen, you can't get a word out of me. And don't call me, don't text me, ma. No, don't. Save it. Save it. I told your ass. Some stuff is just not worth a whooping. You
Mom
know what I'm
who?
saying? A
Mom
lot
who?
of things are not worth a
Yeah.
whooping,
Yeah.
because life is going to show you
Hmm.
better than anything I can teach you.
Better than,
Tell
and you
you.
gonna never forget that lesson. You never gonna forget that
Mm-hmm.
lesson.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what again things you think about it is like how I think about my situation and to
Stop.
how I grew up, and I'm mad, not mad. I'm not mad anymore because fuck y'all. But how I was angry at my, the people that raised me because it's like, damn,
Mm-hmm.
y'all did all this shit, and now I'm watching y'all sit around feel guilty about it when y'all think back about it. You know what I mean? And it's like
Yeah.
I can just avoid that if I actually just sit and think about this shit now because I don't
Mm-hmm.
want him to come back in 10 years and be like, Mom, you used to beat my, you never listened to me, you never woo
Mm-hmm.
woo, and now I'm
Mm-hmm.
offended because I was just doing the best I
Mm-hmm.
could do. But shit,
Mm-hmm.
we have to analyze like, is this really
Mm-hmm.
necessary? And I don't know. I'm just smart. I'm smarter than Noah. Heck, he gonna have to get up. You know how they say you gotta get up early as hell to get up from me.
Period.
He might as well not even go to
He
sleep.
gonna have to get up 2, 3 days, two,
You
three
stay
days
up. Just
early.
stay up.
Listen,
Don't sleep. You better stay up.
don't
What? Cause
don't even go to sleep.
he
Don't
can't
worry
fuck
about
with
it.
me. He can't fuck with me. So
No.
I can outthink you.
Oh
I know what you
God.
enjoy. I know your patterns. So I know how to
Mm-hmm.
discipline you effectively for you to be
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, I really don't want to deal with that shit
Mm-hmm.
without me beating the fuck out you. I'm sorry.
Right.
And and again, I do just have one. I will always make that disclaimer. I just have one. I was also an only child, in my main household. So, I feel like that does probably play into it a bit. But I
I
ain't
feel like being a mom of multiples and also working like in management, it's definitely easier to get one to mimic you.
never
Like, yes, they might stray off from time to time because obviously they're an individual.
yeah.
However, it's easier to get one to mimic you. And I feel like that in my household and also like in the workplace when I was working in management. Um, Once I had a larger group of people to manage, it was harder to, kind of keep everything flowing smoothly. And each person required something different.
Yeah.
This person learned different.
Mm-hmm.
This person could get a write up, and they would comply. They
Recover and
come
be
back to
fine. Yeah.
work and they do what they're supposed to do. This person probably done got wrote up 6, 7, 8, 9 times. You know what I'm saying? It's not doing anything. So now I got to move to the next, consequence, which may be
Hmm.
you losing your job.
Yeah.
And so I kind of run my house the same way. It's more of them. It's more people thinking individually
Hmm.
versus thinking as a group. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So everybody responds differently. Everybody learns differently. Everybody's they're all respectful. So I'm not saying that they're bad kids. However, I have some that I can take a look at and they'll go sit down and they already know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I got one, it's like, you not understanding me unless I'm acting like a gangster. I
Yeah.
gotta show
Yeah.
you that this shit
Yeah.
is in me. Stop playing
Mm.
with me. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I do feel like different
Yeah.
people require different things to get them to comply. Not
I
saying that
agree.
you should be constantly beating your kids because they're not always going to comply because they are individuals. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
it's a lot of gray area, and I understand why you choose to not do it at all because with the gray area, the lines can get blurred easily. But I will say that I do feel like when it's more than one, more maybe two, but when it's more than two for sure, that's when it gets a little murky.
Yeah. Hmm. That's the same reason that Nick Cannon could never effectively parent all of the motherfucking kids because it's too many. And not saying that
And in
big
different
families aren't
households.
cool. Big families have perks and shit like that. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes emotional shit,
Mm-hmm.
individualism, all that type of shit sometimes get a little skipped over. Not because anybody means any malice,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but more so because it's just so many motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't keep up with
Mm-hmm.
all these motherfucking people and do this and do this. And like you said, there's so many different personalities. We all have individual free will.
Mm-hmm.
Some people have
Mm-hmm.
preferences. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like the youngest, Cigar.
Mm-hmm.
Cigar is so
Mm-hmm.
sweet and so calm and
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
quiet
Mm-hmm.
compared to Fat Daddy Kelly. He a little bit more lit. You know what I'm saying? So I
Mm-hmm.
understand that for sure, and that's why I always provide grace. But I guess this makes me remind mothers like it's normal to get overstimulated. Like it's normal to have a
Mm-hmm.
bad day. It's normal to be at your mental
Yes,
capacity and be
absolutely.
unable to take shit.
Mm-hmm.
But that also puts you at a because that is normal. That puts us at a spot where we
It
are
makes you
in
vulnerable
danger.
to respond
Exactly.
differently.
Exactly. And it's like there's nothing wrong with like you a human. Like of course
Mm-hmm.
10 motherfuckers asking a question is gonna irritate anybody. But it's like damn, I feel bad for number 9 who done got cussed out because number 8, 7, 6, and 4 then came for I feel bad for everybody. So
We
I
have to be emotionally aware, and
mhm.
it definitely requires some patience, a lot of patience,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you definitely have to carve out time for each of them. It's a lot that goes into it, definitely.
Yeah. Do to frustrate a motherfucker really be I want your
Mhm.
attention.
Yep.
And wouldn't you hate to wake up one
Mm-hmm.
day and realize that that's what your child was asking for you beat the hell out of him? That's my biggest fear. Cause
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see motherfuckers look
Mm-hmm.
like damn I shouldn't have did that. Yeah, I
Yep.
know. Too late, ho. You in the expose already. It's too late. It's too late to take it back. I'm already
The
telling
expose
everybody,
is
bitch.
crazy.
I'm already telling everybody I don't care. And I don't want to be that. That's scary for
You get
me.
on my nerves.
You already in it. I'm sorry. I already picked out who gonna play you and everything in the movie sis. So
Ah,
like just you gotta
keep
deal with
me
it
out your
now.
expose, love.
Shit. I'm putting you at the beginning with that motherfucker. You thought I didn't get no whip and shit. You're going first. So you know.
I totally missed that. I failed you as a sister. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I forgive you. I do forgive you though. But
I
it
didn't know
make
you
this
was
is
over
what I
there
say. It
getting
make
your
a lot
back
of shit
broke.
make sense. Make a lot of shit make
I'm
sense.
like, this girl got everything because I mean, and that's why it's hard when you're outside looking in
Hmm.
because I'm looking at her like, okay, you the only child. Your mama seems like she can buy you everything you want.
She's so soft spoken.
So soft spoken. You're in the good schools. Like we're in the inner city. Like I'm just looking at all these things, and it just seemed like you had the perfect life.
Shit. Well, first off, Faloa was on 21st and Nash, and if you're from Milwaukee,
True,
you know what the
this is
fuck that
true,
means.
but
So
it still was a religion
a
filled
parochial school is Christian
situation.
school. Hmm.
Yeah, and had a
So
good
I agree. Yeah.
reputation,
Hmm.
but it definitely
Yeah.
was definitely was in the inner city.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it
And I
just was
think
aware enough to know that I need to
yeah.
put you in certain spaces. So
Yeah.
that was something that was kind of foreign to us.
Yeah.
Like you just went to the school that's around the corner. Like wherever we
Mm-hmm.
moved, it was
Residential
no
zone. Yeah.
thought put into it to that degree.
Yeah.
Or they didn't know to do that. It's like she was kind of ahead of the game to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it seemed like everything was like your best interest at heart. And I'm not saying that it's not because you got whoopings, but
Yeah, yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like it
Yeah,
just
she
seemed like
definitely tried her best,
everything
for sure.
we just didn't see it that way. And it was like
Mm-hmm.
she's so soft spoken, emotional. So like when you do stuff, she damn near in tears. So this to us, where I come from, this some white people shit. Like,
Yeah. You gotta look at the crib. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like like, girl,
Yeah.
what is you tripping about?
Yeah.
Like,
And that's
but
what brought
whole
that
time, obviously, you
bad
were going
feeling
through a
out.
lot of things and not
Mm-hmm.
being understood and not being able to express yourself, and also being taught that you are the bad person, which leads me to later on, you found out as an adult that you have ADHD, correct?
Thank you. Yes, exactly. Thank you, sister. That was a great segue. That is exactly what happened. And that's another reason that I think that I am so against physical punishment is because a lot of the things that I was physically punished for, I could not help. And it's like, yes, and I love my mom. Anybody that knows my mom, she was the sweetest girl. She was such a sweet lady. And I think, with the cards that she was dealt, she definitely was doing her absolute best. And she was doing what she felt was right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I never would take that away from her.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate the argument where, oh, well, some parents do all they can do and kids still woo, 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 woo. True. We all have free will. We are individuals and we do things. But as parents, I feel like we also have to be accountable and realize that everything that our children are is a result of something that we did at some point. Environments we place them in, it's the things that we demonstrate at home, it's
Mm-hmm.
the sense of belonging that we instill with them for preparing them for things. So I think it's so much that parents try to get away from just because they tried their
Mm-hmm.
best, and sometimes
Mm-hmm.
your best ain't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And in my case, like, what I'm saying, just result into physical punishment instead of figuring out why is she having a hard time with her assignments. I ran away from home because I had 10 missing assignments because I knew a motherfucker was not going to accept, oh, I don't know why I didn't do it. But now at 30, at 30 years old,
10 missing
31,
assignments
2,
do go crazy.
10 is crazy. 10 is crazy. But when you understand
Like, damn,
executive
how you let it get
dysfunction
that far?
and ADHD, I'm smart as a whip, but I don't have enough dopamine in
Attention
my brain
span.
to get through this
Yeah.
assignment. You know what I'm saying? I don't have it, and so I'm not going
Right.
to do it. And now I'm feeling overwhelmed. Now I'm procrastinating. This all shit that I don't
Mm-hmm.
have any language for as a child, but as an adult, you
Mm-hmm.
probably didn't know at that time, but it was your job to make that,
Yeah.
something that I
It
was
was your
able to get
job
there.
to figure it out. Because if you know
Exactly.
that your child is very capable, and I actually have one like that now, very capable, smart as a whip, always has been on somebody's list. I have pictures, many awards, every award show at school. Like he's that naturally,
Yeah.
without
Mm-hmm.
trying. And at times I'm just like, why are you dumbing down or why are you not doing your work? Like I try to get to the bottom of it because that's my job as a parent. Because
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're capable of, but why
Mm-hmm.
are you seeming to be blatantly choosing not to do?
Yeah.
So it definitely requires like research like anything else. Like, hey, listen,
Yeah. Trial and error. And
make
I'll
the
go to the
mental
ends of the earth
note.
for mine. Shit.
Okay, when he was doing this is when his grades started dropping. This is, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you try to create that space. And sometimes even with you creating that space, they still might not tell you.
Exactly.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know why
Yeah,
they're
don't have
not
the
doing it.
language.
Sometimes they don't
Exactly.
know. Yeah.
Exactly. And that was my
So,
experience. I didn't know what the fuck was happening. So I could have
mhm,
never given you, any insight. It was up to you to
mhm.
kind of say, okay,
To
this doesn't make sense. Let me
pick through
figure
it.
out
Yeah.
what could she
Take
be
the
going through.
time to assess the
Exactly.
situation and try to figure out what it is. I think like
Hmm.
one of my personal experiences also, which I don't agree with. Like I said, I kind of straddle that fence. I don't know if it's because of my age or where I fall. Like I kind of gentle parent, traditional parent, kind of mix. I just do what works for me. I'm not all the way on, either
Yeah.
side of anything. I just do what works for me. But one thing that I particularly do not agree with how I was raised, if you were a quiet child, you were an obedient child or deemed the good child. I was very outspoken, so a lot of times I was deemed as disrespectful when
Yeah.
really I'm just expressing myself. And
Hmm.
really looking around, I'm damn near the smartest motherfucker around here. Like y'all all moving like y'all know what the fuck supposed to be going on. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Okay.
So no tea, no shade, but the things that I'm calling y'all out on, the adults in my life hated to be called out,
Yeah.
and I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just letting you know, like the way you handling me, I'm not cool with that. And I
Yeah.
feel like
Hmm.
it's okay for kids to set boundaries, and it's okay for kids to tell you how they feel. But in a time that I grew up, that was not a thing. And so I allow my kids to be very expressive, and like I said, sometimes overly expressive. And I'm like, all right, let's put a pin in this.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
gonna revisit it because you coming in kind of hot. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I respect it, but let's bring it down a couple notches. But yeah,
Exactly.
so just being able to create that space for them because, like I said, I was deemed the disrespectful child or the unruly child, and my brother, for example, we're a year apart, and he act like he ain't have a care in the world about shit. Like, and I have another a
Still.
cousin too, like one of my very close cousins, like very quiet, and they're doing all the things that y'all think I'm doing, but because they're quiet,
Hmm.
they're a good child. No, they're sneaky.
Hmm.
Clocked it,
Listen.
and like I'm an
Hmm.
open book, and I've always been like that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Authoritative parents, like parents that are super super strict like that, all you do is breed sneakiness. You're not
Hmm.
necessarily breeding respect. And I think that
Yeah.
especially in Black culture, we are very guilty of like forcing kids to love their abusers. We
Hmm.
are very
Hmm.
guilty of making them feel like your feelings doesn't matter when it comes to an adult or an authority figure. And I don't
Hmm.
play that shit because like you said, I've witnessed adults be dead ass wrong.
Hmm.
And I would never tell my son to just, oh, it's an adult, just you are totally right.
Hmm.
No, now there are methods, there are ways to handle shit. Now, if
Yep.
someone's wrong, you know what I'm saying? You need to be respectful because you are a child. So there
Yep.
are ways to handle shit. So for
Hmm.
me, I'm really, really big on just making sure that I'm not forcing that trauma on him that authority figures are always right because that's how you
Hmm.
breed other shit like,
Hmm.
being sexually assaulted and it's a
Hmm.
secret because it's an authority
Hmm. You're
figure.
not saying nothing
Or
because of the adult. You're
exactly. So
told that
adults aren't
adults are
always
always
right.
right.
And I
Hmm.
know that for a fact. And I know because I'm gonna be right all the motherfucking time. I can't, I know y'all can't believe it, but I'm not always right for sure. So I know that, and I grew up with a lot of motherfuckers that was dead ass wrong. And like you said, like waking up at like 5 years, 5, 6, 7 around that age group, and realizing like, damn, you beating the hell out this girl and throwing her in this room every day. This is wrong.
Right.
Like how am I five
Right.
picking up on this shit and y'all asses in y'all 30s and y'all didn't know?
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. I always felt like I
I,
didn't fit. Like I'm just
Mhm.
looking around like I'm the only person that don't agree with this shit. Like it was so much shit going on around me as a kid, and the other kids just acting all casual. Like, hey, cuz you.
You don't see she in there beating the fuck out of her.
That shit didn't
Yeah.
trip you out, not even a little bit. Like
Hello.
I
Not
feel
even
like
a
we
little
always
bit.
kind of been wise beyond our years, and that shit
Hmm.
just was not respected. They was
No,
not
no, no,
picking
no,
up
no.
what we was putting down.
Being
Like,
right too
get your
early in a
ass
black
somewhere and be
family
quiet.
either makes you crazy or disrespectful. Them the only two options
Yes,
you got. I've been both my whole life. Fuck
yes,
y'all at this
yes.
point.
And every time I've been crazy, later on, lo and behold, I was right.
Yeah. Yeah, that is crazy though. Like it's like that violence is like passed down as a tradition and we just accept it. You know what I'm saying? Like I did see some funny ass comments for sure. As far as like growing up and your mama beat the hell out you, one time you died, one time the ambulance came and all that shit. But that shit low key not okay. Like cause that shit physical violence is teaching, in my opinion, fear. It's not teaching you no emotional safety, no emotional security or regulation in that way. And I feel
Mhm.
like for me, I think I really want my son to know that even when he fuck up, I still love him. So
Absolutely,
for
absolutely.
me, I didn't tell my mom I was pregnant with Noah until I was like 6 months, and actually, I didn't tell her. My high school told her, because I couldn't talk to her. I know you finna cry, you finna be all emotionally dysregulated, you probably finna whoop me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm.
I don't have time for
It's
that shit.
so crazy though. I feel like when I saw you like right before she found out, your coat was like half of your stomach. I'm like, bro.
She might have been in denial. She might have been in denial. But I never told her. I swear to God, I didn't tell her. I did not tell her.
Phyllis said, I'm not trying to know shit.
I don't wanna
I
know.
got
I ain't
enough
mad
shit
at
on
her.
my plate,
I am
child.
not mad at
Please,
her. No more. No more. I'm not mad at
no
her.
more. Disclaimer.
No, but for real though, man, because that's my biggest fear for my son. I don't give a damn if you are, it's a party, you 19 years old, you somewhere drunk. I want you to call me instead of being
Absolutely,
afraid. And that was always my
absolutely,
case. I was so afraid of getting whooped or getting like,
absolutely.
being talked about or motherfuckers calling around, telling me my business in
Hmm.
the family that I would go through shit that I could have been saved from. You know what I'm saying? I would go through shit that I dealt with alone because I was so afraid. And that's just always my biggest thing. I think that especially black children, we often leave them so unprotected.
Mhm.
So I feel like that
Mhm.
first
Mhm.
frontier is at home. So if you're gonna do something wrong or you gonna do something that you shouldn't be doing, let me at least be able to put you up on game and you respect my
Mhm.
opinion.
Absolutely.
Because
And
that, like
watch
that,
watch.
physical interactions or physical punishments that he gave me,
Mhm.
um, and I can remember them because it was only twice. Like, there's some shit that
Mhm.
really stuck out to my head. But
Same.
what really life lessons that came from him is shit that he sat down and chopped it up with me about,
Mhm.
and I was better able to receive them because I know he
Same.
values my opinion, and I know he
Same.
really cares about me. Versus my
Same.
mama, you whooping and screaming me, that shit going in one ear out the other. I'm not gonna lie. That's just how I
Same.
feel. Mm-hmm. So
Same. I feel like my parenting style mirrors his a lot. Like I ain't trying to be whooping no kids because I don't got time for that.
hello.
Like I'm not trying to be hot, sweaty, funky. Like literally, this is my last resort when I done gave you all my real nigga shit.
Now I'm gonna get on your ass, and that's
And
fair. It's build up. It's build up. As long as you're doing it calm, that's
so,
totally fair. I'm not
and
like that for sure.
same, I definitely only been disciplined by my dad twice. And one when I was 10, took him 10 years to do that. And then again when I was 17, I was completely out of pocket. Like, who you
Yeah.
talking to?
Mm.
So,
I didn't even
I,
do shit. In my defense, I
I
didn't do
get
nothing
it.
either time. But, but yeah,
I don't know about that.
we'll talk about that on a different episode. Well, I'm just saying, I don't feel like I did shit.
Put a
He just
pin
was a
in
little late. I
it.
feel like he was a little embarrassed that he was so late to the discipline party that he just felt like he had to get him one in,
That's
and
how
that
I
comes
felt
back
too
to
because we literally
some
got yoked
insecurity.
up the same summer. Like,
It was really your fault. You got yoked first, then you. I think it was you first, and then he just had to go and throw me in there too, since he yoked the
but he had
motherfucker up.
already when he came to get me, he told me he was finna go to Milwaukee. So you was already on his radar. I just was closer.
Got it.
I wasn't in Milwaukee at the time. I was in Starkville, so I was only a 2 hour ride. So, but
I'm
you,
gonna go kick some ass. Matter of fact, let me stop and see you first. My bad, sister. It might have been my fault.
oh y'all both cutting up. Yeah, my boy said he had enough.
It stops today. These little
But
motherfuckers out of control.
not to get too far off topic, but so do you feel like the there do you feel like he was too far on that side of friend versus
Yeah.
parent to where when we became that age we kind of was like nigga.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. I think
So
my parents are the perfect example of that shit because my mom was too much parent.
too
Like she
far on
freaked
the
out. She
authoritative
was. It was just
side.
too much. I couldn't even talk to you. Versus my dad, he was too chill. And I think that gentle parents get a bad reputation for being like laissez faire, and that's where you see like kids that be hitting their parents and
Hmm.
flinching up at them and
Hmm.
shit because you
Hmm.
didn't set any boundaries.
Yeah,
But I feel like it's
now
about
it's too
being on
late.
one.
Right.
And I think that's where that should come in. At you have to find that balance. It's about both for sure. Whether
Everything is
you physical
balanced.
punishment or not, you
Yeah.
still have to find balance. And
So sis, you knew better. Um, the kids jumped on the mom and the son walking home from school completely out of order. The mom and the child were non-confrontational. They were actually walking away from the crowd, and the kids still proceeded to corner them and yeah, jumped
yeah,
them to the ground.
yeah. I I've been hearing about that. I couldn't bring myself for some reason to watch the video.
Hmm.
I think maybe I'm just getting older. I hate to see stuff like that nowadays. So I didn't
Hmm.
even get a chance to watch the video, but I've definitely been hearing about it.
Hmm.
And I would say I love the black internet just because it's been so funny, like some of the jokes that they've been making. But
Yes.
in all reality, I think that one of the moms, think this, I don't remember. We'll show her comment on these on a post here too. But
Hmm.
the post that she made in response to her daughter being one of those children, when I say I would have been
Hmm.
so embarrassed that my
Hmm.
child had the audacity to do some shit like that, I would
Hmm.
never be on internet defending him.
Never.
I probably even deleted all my pages. I ain't gonna lie, because that's
Too much
embarrassing as hell.
backlash. Too much
Hmm.
backlash. We're gonna deal with this in house behind the scenes.
Hmm.
Like, and that's another
Exactly.
thing. Y'all put everything on the internet. You should have been doing anything besides taking your child to them people front door and making them
Hmm.
apologize
Exactly.
and holding them accountable
Hmm.
and tuning out the noise because you know noise coming with it. It went viral.
Thank you. That's what I mean. I couldn't agree with that even more. I think looking at her post, it tells you all you need to know. And
Mhm.
again, to bring it back up, this is why I'm against against the physical punishment because it does still, whether we like to admit it or not, teach our kids that it's acceptable to act that way when you're angry, and it's not. No matter, you know what I'm saying. There are times, of course, protect yourself, but it's like stuff like that. Like just because what I don't even know what triggered it. Again, I didn't watch the video, but at what point is that normalized in your household?
It's crazy because I don't know. It just seemed to be like pure bullying, which was insane. Like they're literally walking down the street, the crowd is kind of following them, just talking stuff, and the mom just trying to kind of. But I know the mom suffers some illness. I believe they said sickle cell, so
Mm-hmm.
you can tell she's kind of wobbling just a tad bit or struggling to even walk. And she's walking with her child and another small, I think her other small child. And they're, like I said, not being confrontational at all. She's trying to get her children away from it. These kids were just, I don't know. I don't
That
know.
is crazy. That's
Definition
crazy
of
though.
menace to society.
And then the just like looking at the little screenshots of them, like y'all little dirty. Tell
And
me
was
to our
talking
kids.
about the mom calling her ankles ashy and this and that. And I'm just looking like, the
No, her post
audacity,
about
not the
how
pot in the kettle.
y'all the mom of one of the kids post talking about y'all used to beat up crackheads.
Who used to
Who?
beat up crackheads?
Who?
And what they got to do with your baby?
They
We
is from
talking about
Chicago
your
though.
baby.
You
We're
know them
not talking
Chicago
about what
kids
nobody
different.
used to do. But who used to do that anyway? I ain't never beat up no crackhead. I don't know what
Ever
you're
in my
talking about.
life, ever in my life, ever in my life have I ever
We
even pointed
respected
them
the
out, knocked them
crackheads like
out.
we respected everybody else. Hell,
Okay. Oh, there you go.
we're not
That's how
gonna
we
use
was
that as
raised.
an excuse for your child to
Mm-hmm.
be jumping
Mm-hmm.
on a parent and a child that's not bothering them.
Exactly. But in her defense, she did say that her baby don't need a village because she got a castle. So that tells us all we need to know anyway.
That tells us all we need to know.
All we need to
Because
know
if you
anyway.
don't know that a village is bigger than a castle, my love, we don't have anything to talk
We
about.
got some other things to be worried
Log
about
out.
today. Take a nap. Take a nap. But overall, y'all, I think the biggest thing that we want y'all to remember is it's really important. The bare minimum is that you are trying to be better than your parents were with you. That's the
Than
bare
your parents.
minimum
That's
every
all.
single
That's
day.
the
And
bare
regardless
minimum.
of if you are pro or anti physical punishment, at the end of the day, we're all trying to raise emotionally secure and respectable kids. And I think that's overall the main goal.
Absolutely, I agree.
But yeah, girl, time.